All right. First of all, thank you very much to LSI. Appreciate the opportunity to present. So I'm going to take you all on a little bit of a journey about medical imaging. It's something that isn't talked that much, but it's an integral part of how medical devices are approved and how the data is collected. I'm a 30-year veteran in this space and just wanted to share with you some insights. So imagine if scientists and historians looked back on the present day and had absolutely no pictures and no movies. What would that mean? And can you imagine if you didn't have this picture, but which actually dates back to 1895 already, how many words would be needed to describe it with the absolute clarity so you never needed the picture again? Think about what that would mean, where you never ever could reference this picture again, and you wanted that level of clarity and certainty in order to know you could no longer be in possession of this image. Imagine in your personal life, if you lost all of the pictures of your loved ones and all of the past events, and you tried to piece it together either with somebody else's pictures, or you tried to piece it together through just a rough collection of texts. And think about how that really wouldn't be your full story. It wouldn't capture your whole history and your family's history with, that sort of vivid recreation. When pictures are lost, information is lost, and opportunities to learn are lost. So let's think about another example. Think about how much has been learned by pictures of the universe. Just through pictures, we understand wavelengths of light, we understand distances, we understand trajectories, we understand time, all from a picture. All of that came from images. Can you imagine losing them and losing all of that context day forward? Here's a typical PET CT scan used commonly in oncology. It has a lot of similarities to the universe, all of the exact same values that you would have when you're looking at family photos or when looking at what's been learned about the universe. And did you know that 90% of all oncology clinical trials have solid tumor imaging? But unfortunately, the measurements are surprisingly inaccurate. And all too often, if we have the image, the measurements that were made from those images are disconnected from the images themselves. What an incredible wasted resource. Medical images have the same ability to drive science forward the way that pictures of the universe have and do. So why isn't it happening with medical imaging, and especially for all of you developing medical devices here today? Patients are on clinical trials for months or years, not millennia. We have to move fast. Every clinical research site uses different imaging assessment techniques, mostly manual workflow processes. It's too complicated. And even at the most sophisticated NCI-designated cancer centers, which are America's finest, we measure an overall 25 to 50% error rate when following the clinical trial protocol. With all the focus on increasing access and diversity in clinical trials, there's a 3% enrollment where 80% of Americans get their cancer care. We need to do better, and imaging is quite simply holding back drug discovery and medical device development today. There are many workarounds and coping techniques. They've been developed to address these issues over the past 3 decades. All of them are too little and too late. Whatever happened to doing things right the first time, right at the site, right at the point of capture? The reality is, workflow problems are making everything too hard. Clinical trial study staff spend 8 hours of time for every 1 hour of radiologist reading time. Radiologists ask for AI tools to make their life easier and faster, but most of that time is consumed with poor workflow and communication rather than even measuring images. Until the workflow is streamlined, we won't have progress. What do I mean by progress? Improving access and diversity, ensuring patient enrollments are correct, providing accurate information about tumor progression, and capturing the kinds of imaging data that can empower tomorrow's precision therapies and next generation of imaging AI. How is it achieved? Workflow, by making it easy to set up clinical trial imaging protocols, extend them across all sites in each trial, and prospectively collecting pristine imaging data. Just like losing family photos, insights lost in clinical trials can never be fully recovered. We're better off looking ahead and getting the imaging workflow right day forward. Doing so will quickly result in having more clean, well-kept, well-measured, and immensely valuable imaging data than exists in the world today. Getting imaging right starts with getting imaging workflow right. Thank you very much.